Hi all, welcome to Dragon's Cave. It's Froggy Friday. So, what have I got? I've got this little fish from Timu. I don't want that one. That's not a fish. Neither is that. Okay, so I'm going to make like a pond aquarium type thing in here. So I've chosen round eyes, so I don't have to worry about which way they're pointing. Just the cheats way of doing things, I suppose. Pop a little bit of UV resin into the eye socket. Yeah, I should have got the new bottle out, shouldn't I? No mind, it'll come. There we go. One little drop in there. I can see a bubble in it, so I'm just going to take my silicone tool and burst the bubble. And drop the eye into the socket. Make sure it's the right way up and in the right place. And then grab my UV torch, which has just got tangled up. Hang on, let me unplug it because the wire's got tangled in something. So just a quick blast to hold it in place. Start setting up the UV. Only takes a few seconds just to stop it from moving. Drop that down there. Turn it over. Drop of UV into the other eye socket. Trying to keep this in shot so you can see it, but I'm not succeeding well. The bottle's in the way apart from anything else. And again, there's a big bubble in there because that bottle's almost empty. Eyeball in. Make sure it's down and in place. Zap that quickly. Then once these are kind of held in place so they're not going to move, I'll pop it over under my big UV light to make sure they're fully cured. And I will be back when I've mixed up my resin. See you in a bit. The eyes are fully set in place now. So I've got about 45 grams of resin pro eye crystal mixed up in here because I want to do this in a few layers. So I'll just see, probably too much. 30 would have been enough. Wipe that away. So in this layer, I'm just going to place a few of these little fishies down. They're flat backed, so they need to go that way up. Don't want to put too many in each layer because I also want to just tiniest little bit. I've got some moss, obviously, because there's going to be at least one more layer of fish. And I'm actually going to push these down under the resin so that the layers will show better. Hopefully, anyway. Some of these are very light and I'm not sure how well they're going to actually show through in the end, but I don't think it's a big deal. So I'm going to get a little bit of moss. I'm not going to be using all this. I just want a few little bits in this layer. Then I'll put a couple more bits in the next layer and so on. Because I need room for you to be able to see the fish in the layer behind. I think that's going to be sufficient for this one, to be fair. Or I may put a little bit right up in the head. push that into place. Get it down into the resin. And I am going to leave this layer at that. And I will be back very shortly for the next one. See you in a bit. Hi, I've got, this has had a couple of hours now. It's not totally set, but it's as close to it as makes no odds. And what I completely forgot was I was going to put a tiny drop of blue into the first lot, and I didn't. So I don't want to put blue in the second one because that kind of would spoil it a little, I think. But I am going to put just the tiniest bit of sparkle in there. And I mean just that much, because it does take over. I don't want it to be very visible, just to give it a little bit of a flash. So this is another 45 grams. I only used about 30 in there. There will be definitely one, maybe two more layers after this. Probably only one. Right, so that is completely mixed in now. Just going to throw it all in. And I didn't keep enough. I didn't keep enough fishies out because I want to put one in that leg. Pop one in this arm. And here. And here. And another one sort of towards the head, but I don't think you're going to see that one because it's very, very pale. And it's pretty much disappeared in the resin already. I want to push them down and try and get them to stay roughly where I want them to be. They're still at different levels, obviously, because the first lot were at the bottom of the resin. I really don't think you're going to see this little one here. You're not going to see much of the pink ones either, but never mind. I'll put it in there. There we go. And there's another little bubble up here. They were actually in the first layer, but because it wasn't fully set, I managed to get them out. We've got a quick squirt of isopropyl alcohol to get those bubbles off the top. And I'll put the moss away. Bear with me 1 second. What happens when you're making more than one thing and you tidy up in between? You end up putting things away when you haven't finished with them. I don't really want to put very much again in this layer. This moss is slightly darker than the first one that I used. Again, I'd rather have them behind the fish rather than on top of it. I'm trying to find these smaller, fluffier bits rather than the big. Oh, great. Put that into the leg there. this here, more or less on top of the fishies. The bit I put up in the head moved to the middle and I wasn't watching. So let's see if I can get a little bit up there. See if I can make it stay there this time, but that's a full-on hope because I haven't got much time to actually sit here and watch it. Unfortunately. It's a little bit there. And get it under the resin so that I can get any bubbles out. Hopefully. So I think I will probably leave it at that because I want to get some stones and some colour behind it. And if there's too much greenery in there, they're not going to see anything. So I will go away and I will be back to see you in just a sec. Bye. Hi all. Right, so these 2 layers are cured. So next thing is to get the final layer on. So I need to go and mix up my resin. And I want to see if Loula's magic trick will work for me. Let's give it a go. Okay, so I've got my resin mixed up. I've got around 60 grams of resin pro eye crystal because I'm going to put some stones in here as well. These are moss agate, I believe. I'm tipping them all out because I want to use mostly the lighter ones. I could have sorted this out before I turned the camera on, but yeah. Where's the fun in that, eh? Right, so I want to colour this. I'm going to use pigment dye, peacock blue. These originally came from Amazon, but I've had them 4 years or more now, so I'm sure they still do them. Don't want to put too much in. I want it to be quite light. And I think that's ample. It will look lighter when it's cured anyway, because it's not going to be as thick in here as it is in there. I'm just going to start by pouring some in. I see a bubble stuck there. Get my little pokey stick. Try and get that out. There we go. There's still some bubbles rising up. I hope I'm not pushing the resin away from the mould. Don't think I am, but I feel something weird in there. Possibly because of the moss. Maybe it hasn't settled properly. Anyway, I think that's okay now. Grab a tissue, because I forgot to do that beforehand. Right. I'm going to start off putting a few stones in. There aren't that many light ones in here, to be honest. Right, now I'm just going to move this slightly over here, because I want to use up the rest of this. I want to pour it into this mosaic mould. Far too much resin made up, obviously. I've got, besides this, I've actually got some more set aside because I want to do some different colours in here. But I will show you that when we're ready to do the next layer. I will see you very soon. Bye. Hi all. This layer is cured now, and I've put some pearls, fakes obviously, into the toes. Now because this is such a thin amount left, I'm kind of impatient today. I'm going to do the back layer with UV resin, and it's going to be white, just the usual cheap one that I get from Amazon. So this will probably be 2 layers because obviously it needs to cure. Excuse me. It's important not to make this too opaque because otherwise it will have difficulty curing. Need to pick this up. Get it. I kind of hold it in my hand like this to try and stop the daylight getting at it too much. And put it setting in the cup before I've even had a chance to pour it. I think that's fully mixed now. Let's go and get this on quickly. It was mixed inside the cup. There was obviously a blob of it on the outside. I'm going to cure this up. I'll probably get the next layer on it as well before I come back to you. And I will see you in a second when we're ready for the demold. See you in a bit. It's demolding time. Right, so this is fully cured. Well, feels like it is. So we're just going to hope for the best. I've got a little bit of overspill I need to clean up here and there. That's nothing unusual, not for me anyway. Trying to make sure that I don't dislodge the fingers just in case that UV isn't completely set. Should be, it's had plenty of time under the lamp. Come away, come away. 2 bubbles under here, but that's also normal. Move the mould out of the way, and here we go. Oh, it's cute. Those big eyes. Yeah, I mean, you can't see the fish as well as I'd hoped you could. You can see like the black one here and there on the reddish ones. This one is almost completely invisible. That one's a little better. Yeah, there is one there. I wasn't sure whether there was one there or not. But overall, I think he worked really, really well. I don't think he needs any kind of embellishment in the way of eyelashes and crowns and things. I think he's cute as he is. So I'll get you some photos. Give us a thumbs up. Check out the playlist down there. There are loads of frogs on there every single week. Have a good binge watch of Froggies, and I will see you very soon. Bye. I forgot about this. Not that this is important at this stage anyway, but they bubbled really badly. Just going to pop these bits out and hope that I didn't overfill them too much. Because, yeah, I was hoping not to have to pull them apart or cut them apart, but it's okay. So there we are. So I will make some more colours, and I may even do these colours again, but make them a bit thinner, because for the thing I had in mind, these are pretty thick. I'm sure it'll work. I have no worries. So stay tuned for the glamour shots, and I will see you very soon. Bye.